This shop is so rough, and yet what comes in and goes out the door is so amazing. I mean, I've had $250,000 pieces in here. My name is Richard Olds Pillatt. I'm 64. I've been at this address in Collingswood, New Jersey for 33 years. I've been restoring 18th century antique furniture for 41 years. In terms of family members, occasionally it's my wife doing the books, but primarily it's just me alone. I started in Egyptology, working in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, but you can't make a real living at it. So it was my fiance's, then my wife's idea for me to go into antique restoration instead of antiquities restoration. She said, fascinating story, that if you wanted to restore 2,000-year-old things, if you just drop off 1 0, you have a job. And here I am 41 years later. The first time I felt passion in this business was on the very first piece I worked on as an apprentice for B. Lieberman & Son in Philadelphia. The very first thing I worked on in those dollars back 40 years ago was an $8,000 chest-on-chest, 1740 George II, and I was stunned. It was so beautiful. And yet it was the very first thing that Jack started me working on. When I'm successful at my work, you don't know that I've done the job, that I've actually done any work at all. That's when it's most successful, that whatever changes, whatever improvements, whatever repairs we've made are invisible. And it's interesting that we work so hard so that no one can tell that we've done anything. I believe I'm responsible at this point for the restoration of 20,000 pieces of furniture. I can't remember them all. In fact, people are always showing me pieces that I did and saying to me, you worked on that. And I turn to them, I say, I did? And they said, yes, you did this. And they have to remind me what it is I did. But again, it's because my work has got to be invisible. So even I often cannot see my own work after we're finished. I had to give my CV for the award that I was given by Camden City, and I realized I had worked on furniture from a dozen different countries, and I worked in probably 20 different materials. So it's, in fact, they have a question there, what's your greatest challenge? It's all challenging, because I'm working on wood, I'm working on stone, I'm working on glass, I'm working on gilding, I'm working on paper, leather, hair. See, now I'm getting, I'm still into my work. The most historic pieces I've worked on, several pieces of furniture for Benjamin Franklin that are in the Franklin Court in Philadelphia, a couple of chairs from the house in Philadelphia for George Washington, I believe there in the State Department. I've worked on furniture made by the leading makers of the day. I did the desk for the two sisters who wrote Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, an English desk. One of the most exciting things that I do is when I'm restoring pieces, we look for secret drawers, secret compartments, and I've found many over the years, and many that the customers don't know are there. I have a friend who comes in here, and the first thing he does is search pieces for secrets. Most of them are empty, but every now and then we found a gold bracelet, we found letters, we found sealing wax, Chinese porcelain figures, jade, all kinds of odds and ends and bits and pieces of things. There are days when no one comes in and we are able to concentrate on our work. There are other days when this place is hot and cold running people and we can't keep people out. We are not open to the public. I have what's called a closed customers list, but it's still very hard to keep people out if they know about me. The one thing about antiques is that we are caretakers. We're only temporary owners. We can't think of them as being our property because we are in the latest in a line of owners, and hopefully they'll go on after us. One of the things I really love about my work is the fact that I give pieces an extended life, that they go on after. And in fact, some pieces I'm proud to know that I've saved them and give them another 50 or 100 years of life. I just did an incredible mirror, and I was so proud because I figured it's got another 100 years. It's managed to get here from 250 years ago, and you'll forgive me for being immodest, but I've given it at least another 7,500 years, and it is one of the best of its type. Beautiful thing.